We hear things like, pay attention to those who don't clap when you're winning. And it's like, why would I do that? Why do I want to sit up here and look throughout the room to scan and figure out who's not clapping when there's 100,000 people in here giving me a round of applause? Do you know how much attention and focus you're giving to these people who don't matter? Hey babe, welcome back to the Such a Woman podcast. I am your host, Dale Pasco, and over here we like to explore womanhood and femininity through the lens of faith. If it is your desire to become the woman of your dreams and to glorify God at the same time, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications so that you can be notified when I upload the content that you come here for every single week. Okay? Let's go ahead and get into this video. I want you to free yourself of needing everybody to be hands-on with the vision that God gave to you. I need you to tell yourself that it's okay if Susie and Sally said that they would be a part of helping me launch X, Y, and Z, but when it's time to put my hands to work, they aren't there helping me with anything. I want you to let yourself know that you're able to excel in life regardless of who shows up and who doesn't. Sometimes we put too much of an emphasis on everybody else helping us get things done. There's times where you hear people say, well, I would have been much further if such and such would have helped me with this. Or this person told me they were going to make me a flyer for free because they know I don't know how to make flyers, and they never made the flyer, so I never hosted the event. And let me tell you something, that is not going to hold up before God. God is not going to look at you and be like, you know what? I know they didn't help you. I know they didn't make the flyer. I know they were talking behind your back. So it's totally okay. You're not held responsible for any of this. Absolutely not. When you don't know how to do something, that's the time to get your hands dirty and figure out how to do it. Search on Google, YouTube, just like we're on right now. Read books, speak to people, use ChatGPT. There's so many different resources out here that you can use to figure things out. And it can be a little discouraging when people say, oh, if you do this, I'm going to show up for X, Y, and Z. And when you don't see the support that you thought you were going to receive, or when you don't have the people come, it can be like, dang, well, okay, what's going on? But never doubt the vision that God gave you because people didn't show up. The truth is, sometimes people love to see what you're doing, and they do mean well. And sometimes what happens is people just simply get caught up in the moment. So give people grace and understand what it is that God is calling you to, so you don't get stuck in not moving because someone didn't show up. There have been events that I've hosted and I'm like, okay, I'm going to host it for this amount of people. And in the beginning, everybody's like, oh, I'm going to join, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to be a part here, I'm going to do this. And then when it comes out, it's like, oh, I can't come, and that's fine. But one thing I've learned is to still serve those who show up as if everybody showed up, because ultimately God is being glorified through what it is that I'm presenting. And that's a part of operating in excellence. You want to be a woman of excellence. Being such a woman is being a woman of excellence, where you allow every single thing that your hands touch to look like it's been marked with gold. So that if you had an event that was supposed to hold 500 people, and for any reason 5 people showed up, praise God for the 5 souls that you're able to impact, the 5 lives that you're able to shift the trajectory of, the 5 women who will no longer go back to abusive relationships because you shared such a powerful testimony that they changed their minds immediately. Thank God for the 5. It's okay if you planned for 500 and 5 showed up. Notice I'm not saying only 5 showed up. Only 5 women came. Only 5 women flew to see you. Absolutely not. 5 entire willing and able bodies came to be a part of something that you hosted. And guess what? When you're faithful with the 5, God will make you a steward over even more. How do I know this to be true, you guys? How do I know this to be true? The Bible talks about the one with the 1 talent, the one with the 3 talents, the one with the 5 talents. And guess what? The one that had 1 talent and thought that it was really nothing to work with, put his talent in the ground and didn't see the significance of it. But the one with the 5 and the one with the 3 took exactly what the Lord gave them and made investments. And because they stewarded well over what was placed in their hand, God multiplied what they were given. So when God sends you 20 women, when he sends you 5 women, when he sends you 1,000 women, serve them all as though you are serving the one, as if you are serving them to make the one proud. That is the beauty of excellence. Everything that I do is because of the one, that one being God. I want a well done from every single thing that my hand touches. That is what allows me to show up in spaces where it's like, okay, I expected this, however, it turned out this way. And being okay with how it turned out. And I'm grateful for what I have to work with, because I could have absolutely nothing. It could be possible that nobody showed up to the event. Then you would be sitting there for real like, okay, maybe I should just minister to myself. So being grateful that somebody showed up, being grateful that God gave you a vision to work with, being grateful that you weren't left blind or with absolutely nothing in your hands. It's beautiful when we are called to do amazing things, but when we allow ourselves to be sidetracked by the way things didn't pan out, we lose so much. We lose traction, we lose momentum, we lose encouragement, we lose discipline sometimes, we lose hope. You know what I mean? It's like if your mind is set on something and it doesn't happen the way you want it every single time, it can definitely result in you ending up in a hopeless state. But that's when you have to change your perspective and change your outlook on things and be like, God, thank you that it ended up this way, because it could have been much worse. So the fact that you have been giving something so beautiful for this time, don't sabotage what God wants to do through you. Do not sabotage the vision that God gives you because other people can't really see it clearly. Sometimes people can't see or understand what it is that you're doing until they see what it is that you're doing. Sometimes people will be like, well, I know you do X, Y, and Z, and I know you do this, but I don't really get like the correlation between the two. And guess what? Sometimes there is no correlation between the two. Sometimes these are two totally different things that I do. However, when you keep moving in the things that God is calling you to move in, the bigger picture will be made, and those that need to be a part will definitely be a part. So be excited. Be excited about what it is that God is doing in and through your life at this time. Give yourself room to expect even greater. Know that the people that need to be a part will be a part. And those who said they would be a part may not be a part, and that's okay. But thank them for even encouraging you to launch out. That's another beautiful thing. You know what? I may not have done this event had you not said that you would be here. Like, you gave me hope that somebody would show up for something that I hosted. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the idea. Change your mind. You know, we get so caught up on people being haters or people not being a part of things, or they're not supporting me and they're not doing X, Y, and Z. But the truth is, some of them are supporting you. And why is it that we put such an emphasis on those who are not coming? We hear things like, pay attention to those who don't clap when you're winning. And it's like, why would I do that? Why do I want to sit up here and look throughout the room to scan and figure out who's not clapping when there's 100,000 people in here giving me a round of applause? Do you know how much attention and focus you're giving to these people who don't matter? And maybe if they aren't clapping, it's not because they don't want to clap. Maybe they were busy at the moment thinking about something else. Or maybe they're just so in awe that instead they're just smiling like, oh my God, I'm proud. We have to change the way that we allow ourselves to like become offended. I feel like we're in such a time where it's like so many posts and videos are created about being offended, low-key offended, and it tries to present itself as, oh, be encouraged, or know that you're this person, or know that this and this is going to get done, but the underlying tone is it's going to get done even if they don't show up, or be encouraged if this person's not clapping for you, or know that you're going to be this woman even though that girl's looking at you like this. And it's like, why do we even have to focus on that? I'm going to be encouraged because I am serving and encouraging God, or I have encouraging friends, or I know that I encourage myself, or I trust to believe that everything that I set out to do is going to prosper, it's going to work, I'm going to win. I don't have time to be focusing on all of the negativities when there's so much positivity surrounding my life. I don't have time to be looking at who's not doing what. Yes, there are times where you have to make a mental note of, okay, this is the 5th time you told me that you were going to help. Now, the 6th time, I'm going to be like, okay, sis, or okay, bro, thank you, but not at this time. Please don't even try to fill my heart with things that you know you can't deliver on. It's okay. I thank you for believing in it, but you don't have to sell me a story to try to make it seem like you're supporting in the way that you may not have the capacity to support right now. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with letting somebody know that. But don't set your whole day and time and life up on focusing on everything that doesn't look like what it said it was going to look like when that time came, okay? You don't have time for that. None of us have time for that. There are many more people rooting for you and hoping that you win and cheering for you on the sidelines than there are those who are expecting you to fail. But when you're focused on the ones who are expecting you to fail, you will miss the ones who are expecting and hoping for you to win every single time. So I pray that from this moment forward, you focus not even on the people, but on the one that you're showing up for in excellence and appreciating the ones who want to see you win, because that's all that matters. All that other stuff is hoopla. I really do hope that this video was impactful for you and that it helped you to change your mindset. You have so much more help than you even realize. Simply get started and watch how God sends those destiny helpers into your life for you to get the things done in order to advance His kingdom and impact the lives of other people. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notification, and be a part of the Such a Woman posse, crew, clique. I don't know what we're going to call it yet. And just remember that you are her in real life and you are needed for such a time as this. I love you and I will see you on the next video. See ya.